again, folks. This is lesson 168, and I thought we'd have a change today from what we did yesterday, some trees with western brushes, to a few boats at low tide. Now this is what we're going to try, and the colours today are winter blue red shade, the raw sienna, burnt sienna, and cadmium yellow. Just a little cadmium, that's all. But they're the basic stuff we want. We don't want too many colours. And we'll move that now and we'll see what we've got to paint. This is our little scene. We've got a couple of boat houses at the back there. 3 boats at low tide. In fact, that one looks like it's been repaired. This one near the water. The water's down here. This is sort of low tide here. That's the river banks and all that. There's a furl sail over the top of that one. So that's what we're going to try first. We've got a nice day. It's a clear blue sky today. Let's see how we go with that, shall we? This is the winter blue red shade. Let's see how we go with that. So I think I'm putting the blue on there just to start it up. And then as I start to go down, I'm going to introduce water into that, clean water. Just clean water into the water. There's our sky, and of course you do, if you look at the sky, you'll find out that you get it stronger at the top like that, blue, and it graduates down to where the land is. I'll put a drop of water in here, so let's see if we can get some water down this piece. That's what it gives us our low tide. Right, that's dry, so I think I want to get rid of this white here. I don't like this white, it looks like snow all the time. So this is part of the low tide, if you like. The tide is down here, usually flows up around this corner here. But I'm just putting a flat coat of raw sienna on this. On the boat. It's a number 10 brush I'm using, by the way, folks. It's only a small piece of paper, this, so it's adequate for what I'm doing. I've matched out some of these areas here on this painting because I can come back to it later and just keep it. It's nice, crisp, clean white, so I can do what I want with it and decide what colour boat I'm going to have and all sorts. Nice leisurely painting this. A bit of twiddly bits, so it'll take a while longer than it did yesterday. I think it was only about 18 minutes yesterday, but this is about near an hour, this one. But it's a bit of fun. So we've got rid of the white. I want to into this area. I want to put a touch of sort of that burnt sienna in there. So we put some of that in, didn't I? Just to, and then I put in a touch of burnt umber. Still a bit wet. And the light is coming from the left. So your faces of these boats will be lit, which will be quite nice. Right, let's take some of the overfill on that there. Get that out. Well, that's dry now, so I think I'll just lightly put in these buildings at the back. I don't want a lot of detail on them, it's just that they're a backdrop. I'm using a 1/4" chisel brush, or a flat if you like to call it, whatever you like to call it, just to sort of flat out these buildings. Nothing special. They're not new. They're oldie worldy buildings. Well, in donkeys use the sheds and what have you. Bit of a chimney on that one. Put a bit of blue into that, I think, into the top of this wedge. Darken it down a bit. They look a bit better when they're sort of aged. Right, I don't want any detail in it, apart from probably a couple of window frames in, which I'll put them on when they dry off a bit, if I remember. Right, on top of there's a bit of greenery knocking about down there and some on top of there. So I'll mix a bit of a green using that cadmium yellow. Let's get a number 6 brush, I think, for this. Number 6 brush. Cadmium yellow. And of course a touch of Windsor blue gives me a lovely green as well. I don't want it too in your face, that'll do. Bit of, keep the blue down to a minimum, just. of course there'll be some on the top of this this side of the bank just here. And every time the tide comes in, it tends to wash away more of the bank, and then the grasses seem to hang over. Because the soil's washed away below them, so there's nowhere to go but just to hang down. That's what happens. All along our coast we've been eroded by the sea. Well, that's gone down there. I'll put some more blue into that there, and just put on some darks on this side, because the light's from the left, isn't it? So we're going to get some darks on that side. As it comes down. Bit too much there. I better put a touch of blue on that underside of that, the distant stuff here. I said a quick dip into the Winsboro red shade, that is. And while it's still wet, it'll bleed into the other one, which is what I wanted to do. Right, we're all right there now. Now this side is a straight bank like that, only down to it. So I think we'll put darken that area a bit. So I'm going to put a touch of burnt umber down these sides of this bank. This is a similar bank to this one, but it's further back, so it's just behind it. So let it go down like that to the water's edge. Well, that's where the low tide. So this is like a sandy area, and this is the bank which comes down to it. Let's look at a touch of number 6. Put a touch of darks into that. Let it dry a bit first. I'll just add this side here. This one's doing dirt as it comes down here. The more fiddle on this one, folks, it's going to take you a little bit longer. But you'll get there, you know you will. Bit of blue in that now. Touch some blue into it. It's too nice it was. Got to take the B&Q look of it. And for people who don't live in this country, B&Q is a large DIY store. They sell everything. If you want to DIY something, B&Q have got it. So that's I probably mentioned it before. Everything at B&Q is new of course. But for the purpose of what we want it not to look new, we want it to look old. So you just take that look off. Just put some darks behind where the light's from the left, so the shadows and darks will be under the right hand side of the overhangs. Put a bit of twiddle in this now, it should have dried a bit. But not as strong, just because it's further away. I mean, we haven't got to the nice bits of painting the boats yet. That's we're doing all the background stuff. But the background stuff is important. Because if that's not very good, your painting won't look very good. So I'll give it a bit of TLC until repave. Yeah, I was looking through some of the responses to the painting of that, and today there was a lady from Bulgaria. Good heavens, Bulgaria, and it's a beautiful country. My wife and I, when the kids were very young, I'm talking over 40 years ago, we went to Bulgaria, and they'd never seen any British people before. And they were strange. We were interviewed by the Sofia News because they thought we were strange. And we got such lovely treatment. And I couldn't get my head around that language. Oh. So there's my wife and I, Carol and the two kids. That meant four of us. And the only word we ever got to grips with was chetra. And chetra is four. So when we wanted to eat something or buy something or something, we said, oh, chetra. And we had a good time, even though we didn't speak the language. It was lovely. Nice people. Right, that's about done with the twiddling into the background like that. Over the top of that boat. And I think what I will do when I'm doing this, we'll have a bit of number 10 brush. Where is it? Number 10, the big one. Number 10, where have you gone? There it is. Well, some of this colour. It doesn't come. It just comes like you'll get a sort of this sort of stuff. It doesn't. When the tide's out, it's not so pretty. It's just sandy, all right, but. I think that looks better. Yeah. Put that in there. The colour I put on the palette, I'm keep dipping and mixing, you know, into the others, so we're using the same colours really, and so you get harmony. Right, self-filling now. Right, now I'll dry that, and then we'll take some of this masking fluid off and start tackling the boat, shall we? Right, it's dry, so I'll take some of this masking fluid off and see where we're going. I've purposely put a couple of masts showing, or 3 masts I think, from boats that's behind the bank there. All you can see is the masts. But you can see the boat anyway. Well, so that's somebody got some white sticks. Back of that, this one, take off here. Right, the masking fluid's off now. I'll start this way and then work my way across, I think. This is a sort of a boat that's been repaired, I think, so it's got its covers on the top. These are like a bluey colour, these covers. So I'll put these covers on. I suppose protect from the weather and stuff like that while they're repairing it. And there's a darker strip down below, so it's a darker strip, and keep it use the same blue. I think I'll add a touch of alizarin into it. See what we get with that. Get a nice darkish colour down below. It's not a big area, but it's nice to have it done well. So then there's a strip of blue down there. On that. And there's a little strip of colour on that. I want to finer brush that though. It's a bit fiddly. On the top there. Let's try and see what we can get. Use the same colour. It's got some of it's covered up, but you can see part of the gunnel. Just there. Right, underneath there's some dark fin that hold it up when it's on dry land. So I'll mix some burnt umber and some burnt sienna and some that Windsor red shade, and see if we can get a bit of a dark colour onto these fins that hold it up like that. They keep it out of the water or support it. back one is darker because it's in real shade. And of course there's a mast on that as well, isn't there? So we'll do the mast all at once. So I want to finish the bit of shade on this, so with the sun on there. So I'm going to get some shade. Shade on this. This cover that's like a tarpaulin. It comes over and it gives shade in certain area. Down there. Seems a bit fiddly, but I think it's worth doing. Only that up. There's a couple of buoys here, which are sort of, I don't know, they attached to it or stranded with it, or we'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do some more boats first and see how we go. Leave that for a bit. This one is it's like a greeny colour. It's a greeny base on it, quite dark. The top is white. So let's mix a bit of green. Like a darker green, so I've got winter red shade and cadmium yellow. And a bit more of the blue this time because it'll make it darker. Really dark green. That's quite dark. Test it on your paper first, don't forget. So this one comes around here. Fiddly bit this. And there's like a buoy hanging from that one. Paint around that. I'm not talking much today. I'm concentrating. There's a couple of pieces holding this back up, so I'll put some of that stuff in there. A bit behind there as well. Now we're going to get some reflections in the water on this, so I think we better put some in. I'll pull down some of this colour here that's I think that'll be enough for now. I think that's a bit far back to reflection. You might get a touch from the mast and that. We'll see later. We'll finish this boat off first. Right, it's a white top, but it's got like a blue rim around the top here, around the cabin. So around the cabin here, it's got a blue rim. It's got something brown in the back that's on board, if you like. Of course, you'll probably get a touch of that in there as well. She's showing. There's two portholes on this little boat, little tiny ones, so we'll pop them in. A panel at the front. I think we'll see a touch of this sort of stuff down here. I don't want to overdo it. Dark down there. Mast there, which might just get a dark down the side of it. Let's see what we can do. Let's got that one down there. That's our second boat sorted out. Now the third boat is a yellow boat, a cadmium yellow. So I'll do the boats and let's put a cadmium yellow boat in there. So about the yellow boat now. It's a yellow hull anyway. Bright colours, it's strange this, but it's a nice bit of brightness in the painting. And it's got a matching sail as well, which is furled. Yeah, I bet it's the right pose of this bloke. He's got a matching sail, yeah, but he's got matching shirt and trousers on. You get the odd poses, don't you? That is fastened to the mast and stuff like that. Right, we'll start and put some colour. There's a bit of a dark in the bottom side of this, so let's see if I've done with the yellow, haven't I? That's right. I'll put a darker colour on the underside of that boat there. It's dark down there. It's a bit browny, I think. Let's pop a brown in here. Oh dear, it's spreading into my other colour. Not to worry, not to worry, not to worry. We'll sort it out. Looks like it's a used boat now. That's done me a favour. This has a bit of shadow on the underside of this. And on that side. Gonna pull some out colour down here. The white on the top with areas of dark. Light from the left, don't forget. Pop a few masts in there. Put these red buoys in for a start. These will brighten things up a bit as well. These are cadmium red. There's one here. See a touch of that in the water there. I'll experiment that. It looks a bit better. There's one down here. which I know will reflect in the water there. I think there's one round here as well. The side of here. And that's an even number. I don't like even numbers. See if I can pop another one somewhere else. Where was it? There's something dangling from this front of this boat. Like a dangly brush. Oh, get the small brush in my hand. I'm fiddling now. Be careful. There's one dangling from this rope down here. I have to put some windows in those houses at the back while I'm at it. I've got the small brush in my hand. So I'll put a dodgy bit of door, a bit of a door in here. Right. You get one of these brushes in your hand, you start fiddling, you do. So look now, see what these masts to go in, of course. Better put them in. Some darks in here. dark gunnel on this. Right, masts, they've got to go in now on that. Right, I'll start with this mast here. I've got my wife's credit card here, so I'll just use the edge of that. Carefully pop it on there. That'll make her a mast on there. That's a start, isn't it? I'll put it dark on. It comes down to there. So that's one mast. And of course you're going to get this reflection in the water, aren't you? Don't forget that. There's a mast here which is too short of that, so I've got to use the other credit card. Put a bit of a paint on the edge of it. Stick one on this. That's another one. The mast up here. Gonna be a while, that one. You've been great, dear. Use this small brush. I've missed a bit there, you see, so it's drifts. Darks in, and a few more darks in here just to under the eaves. Right, do we need people? I wonder. I think we ought to have. They're high tide and that, low tide, sorry, and this, somebody should be doing something to them. They just don't sit there. So we'll see what we've got. See who we can employ. I think, bearing in mind that these are cabins and people have got to go inside, the figures won't be too big, will they? So we'll have a bloke working on. See what colour I've got there. We'll have a small bloke working on this. He's got his brown overall on, his it's a big boat, this, you know. I mean, it doesn't look too big, but you can bet it is, because he's working on his boat there. I spend a lot of time working on the boats, you know. Not much sailing, but I spend a lot of time working on them. So he's having to go on that. Oh, bloke. He'll stand about here, I think. No, I'll have one just here. Got to get in that cabin, too. So he's got to be a fair size, not too big. You've got a red jumper on. This Fred, this one. I don't know what he's doing, but it looks interesting. Put some dark trousers on. They don't put the posh suits on to do these, you know. You can see his head there. So he can get in that cabin, see, and he can get on top of that boat. I don't want a third person. I think we do. Where is he going to be? You must see a reflection with Fred and that. Just there. Well, I got a look. I'm working with on this side, couldn't I? We've got to get a bloke talking to this one. That's better. Yeah, we've got a bloke talking to him. And you guys blue overalls on this bloke. He's dressed the part. So he's talking to Fred. He's saying, do you think there's a hole here, Fred? And Fred's saying, no. In fact, they're holding hands. Just about, see? Look at what's happening. He's got some maroon trousers on this bloke. And I'm a bit dark here in front of that to sort of stand on. Something to show that the tide's in. Number 6 below, I think. Hang on. There it is. So I want a bit of land just here. Let's get some colour first. Right, just at the front here, just where this corner is here. Put a bit of land in there. And it's flicking across here, it's tight. Showing the tide is so low. He's getting sort of some flicks across it like this. too dark to the bottom of these cliffs and that. Oh, not cliffs, the sandy bits, aren't they? Right, I'm looking for things to do now, but I need the lights from the left, so we need to finish up with a few shadows, I think. So that's what we'll do a few shadows. Right, shadows, let's see what we've got. With the light coming from the left, so we're going to get, there's going to be some shade under here, isn't there? Where this bloke stood repairing that, and the ship is going to cast a shadow there. The boat, I mean, ship. There'll be shadow under there. There'll be shadow around the side of the buoys there. Shadow around the buoy there. Down there on the reflection. This boat will cast a shadow down here. It's shading under there. This boat will be in shade on that side. Don't forget that. So you get that effect just here. The buoy will cast a shadow there, and the boat will cast a shadow just here. That's in full sun, so that will be alright, that'll be alright. I might get a few more darks on the top of here like this. The buildings at the back, there will be a shadow under these eaves here like that. And some on this end building here. Mind the mess. Can't see much there, a bit on the edge of the chimney pot there. And that, this face might be in shade as well, like that. I'm starting to look for things to do, and I shouldn't on that. The shadow there, shadow there, shadow there, shadow there. I've missed anything. No, I think I'm looking for things to do, and that's the time to stop and have a look what you've got. I'll put a bit of mount on, that'll tidy it up a bit, and see what comes out of it. So there's our little subject of three boats. I think we'll call it 3 boats, shall we? 3 boats, low tide, and it's. I've enjoyed doing that. You know, I'm enjoying doing them all, so it makes no difference to me. So there's a certain choice of things. I might need a bit of string up there to tie that to the top of that branch and not branch to the top of the mast and there to hold this piece of sail up here. So I'll put that in a bit and see what's what. But apart from that, folks, I think we're done for today. If you've enjoyed it, give us a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. So until then, folks, it's bye bye from me.